Thanks again for rejoining us on the program TMI. Big thanks to Ifoma Igwe for setting the tone for this discussion as we look at the issue of local government autonomy. Again, of course, that will be so in the days and weeks ahead because we understand that state houses of assembly are getting set to make an input into this very, very important issue, important national issue. My panelists, I'd like to welcome very especially Sir Adams Aliyu, a notary public constitutional lawyer. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much, co-panelists.
I also have with us in the studio the State President of National Union of Local Government Employees, Comrade Young Ilanihena. Comrade, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We also have with us Engineer Fidelis Esegbe, is a politician and a youth leader. Many thanks for joining us, Fidelis.
Thank you.
Okay, let me begin with comrades. The Edo State House of Assembly, is one of the state houses of assembly in the country that would make an input into this whole discussion as far as the autonomy of local government is concerned. First, the National Assembly has created a template by supporting it. What does the State House of Assembly stand to gain more or lose more, depends on the position that they take as far as local government autonomy is concerned, in your opinion?
Well, thank you very much. I would like to quote the Speaker of the National Assembly, who says, if the local government autonomy fails, hold your House of Assembly member accountable for it, because they have done their part. As far as our own House of Assembly is concerned, they've been transmitted with the constitutional amendment, and it is for them to speak the wish of their own people they are representing. We have two sticky bills there in the amendment. One, the House of Assembly autonomy, and the one for local government. We are in a crossroad here. We have example of some houses of assembly, particularly that of Benue. They voted in support of the amendment, that is local government autonomy. The houses of assembly here have a lot to lose if they vote against it, because they're coming back to their own people. And we as a union, we're only just there as an organized body to spearhead it. Edo State have a lot to lose if local government autonomy fails. That means rural development will be kept in abeyance, and not only that, we'll go back to the business as usual, because a lot have been invested in local government right from the year 2000, and up till now we have nothing to show for it. If you want to calculate what has been expended on local government from that period to this time, you discover that what you have on ground in various LGAs is nothing to write home about. If we want to continue in that business as usual, well, let the Edo State people decide. As a union, we have done our part, and the ball is now in the court of the House of Assembly to decide whether to speak in favor of their own people or to do the otherwise. So the ball is in their court. We are not in position to do that. We have done our best. And I know the public have equally spoken to their own representative of the direction they want them to. But I want to say, in essence, that local government autonomy is good for Edo people, is good for every one of us, is good for Nigeria, and is good for democracy. That is all I'll have to say for now.
Okay, I'll bring you back in a moment. But let me get the erudite Sir Adams Aliyu to ventilate his views on these issues, particularly against the background that it is now at the doorsteps of the state houses of assembly. Would you see this pulling through?
Well, this is a constitutional matter. And as a constitutional lawyer, I have my binoculars focused on the Constitution. The word autonomy that is being solicited is inappropriate, because the Constitution, which has not been replaced as amended in 1999, quotes Section 7, Sub 1, that the existence of the system of local government council is guaranteed in the Constitution, in as much as the government of every state will ensure the composition, the establishments, the functions, the finance and structures. These paraphernalia have to be provided by the state governments. If the state, for the local government council to exist, section 7, subsection 1, if that be so, we cannot crave and propagate autonomy. Autonomy means independent, complete independence. In political realm, we know this when Midwest was created out of Western region, 1963, to become autonomous. Nigeria became independent from Britain 1960. So when you say autonomous, it means the local government now wants to be autonomous within a state, whereas it is section 7(1) that enables the state to create a local government council. That is why it can be truncated, it can be reconstituted. The legal maxim is pars in parem, non habet imperim. An equal cannot be under an equal. There cannot be an autonomous semi, demi, quasi, mini entity in another micro-entity. So that is an aberration.
So now, what in your opinion is
they want some
independence,
amendments, some independence,
yes,
self-government as it were,
yes,
and that is even another issue for another day, because otherwise the local government was to be self-sustaining, getting money from radio, television licenses, abattoir, tenement rates, cemeteries, etc. Whether the local government is doing that or not, that is reserved for another day.
Okay, by just a moment, by Adams.
Yeah.
You quoted a section of the Constitution
7(1),
yeah, which provides for the
state
existence
yes,
of local government. Yeah, we are not disputing this existence, but the hue and cry has been that local governments do not have access to resources and everything that they ought to have as provided for by the Constitution in such a way and manner that even the states are independent of the federal government. You said a while ago that the law provides for 3 tiers of government: federal government, state government, and local government, and the tertiary government, which is the local government. But that is on paper. In reality, the local governments are tied to the apron strings of the states.
Yeah,
do you see anything wrong with that?
Constitutionally, no, because the federal government cannot transmit and remit money directly to the local government. It has to do that via the state.
So, which means, in your opinion, you are satisfied with the state of affairs with local government in terms of
that governance, the money comes to local government,
yes, in terms of impact.
State government.
Yes, you are satisfied with it.
Yes, it has to go.
All right, let me bring Fidelis. Yes, let me get your thoughts along those lines.
Thank you very much. It is good that we have a constitutional lawyer here.
That's good.
And I will also want him to please help us to quote the section that allows the 3 tiers of government. If at the federal level we have the president and its cabinet that consists of the ministers, at the state level we have the governor and the commissioner that consists the state council executive, and at the local government we have the local government chairman, which is the boss, and supervisory councillors that consist its ESCOs. That makes the 3 tiers of government. This was made enabled in the Constitution to allow the governance to dovetail to the grassroots level. So for me, it is a slap on democracy. It is a slap on the grassrooters that a local government chairman will have to jack before they will assess their fund. For me, it is a half-practiced democracy. If the barrister says it's a constitutional matter, they should quickly visit the Constitution again and make sure that local governments are autonomized, probably financially, because we have cases where the money comes in some states and the governor of the state will say, take part of this, I will use part of this to renovate your schools, I will use this to do this, you go and pay salary. It is like using a feeding bottle to feed a child that is already grown. revisit that section that says that the local government bosses should come to the state and jack and beg, not even for all their money, for part of their money, to be taken back to their people. The governor, the House of Assembly members, they belong to local governments. There is nobody that has a federal government as his local government, or that have a state as his local government, including the House of Assembly member, who this case is in their hands now, goes back again to their local governments. A time will come too, if this bill does not pass in different assemblies, they will leave the state House of Assembly. I want to become local government boss tomorrow. And they will begin to ask by the corner if to say we know that I will pass this bill. So it is very quickly now that this bill, having the National Assembly done their own, the State House of Assembly should quickly give autonomy to the states and revisit the constitution in a hurry and make sure that the state, we have three tiers of government. As far as I'm concerned, by the interpretation of this constitution that he said, we have only 2 tiers of government. The other one, they just tie the rope and they are dragging them along. Of course, that is it.
In the name of
so they should tell us that there are 2 tiers of government. There must be 3 tiers of government, where the local government chairman is the boss and the supervisory councillors are represented as ministers. They should be free.
Thank you very much. Mr. Adams,
yes. He misrepresented facts. He wanted to know Section 7(4) says that to be able to be voted for or contest local government election, you must be ab initio qualified to contest into the House of Assembly. And when you go to the 4th schedule, Section 7, which talks of the functions of the local government, the end of it says that, and any other job that is assigned to the local government by the State House of Assembly. So it is true that the local government council is tied to the apron strings of the House of Assembly, and it cannot move from federal to the states. You misrepresented the facts. As you said, the constitution could be amended. As at now, it is the state that must set up the enabling facilities, composition, finance, structure, if it is on ground for the existence of local government council. And I agree with you that they can hurriedly amend the constitution so that there be an atom of self-government to the local governments. But the word autonomy is an omnibus phrase. There cannot be an autonomous body within an autonomous body. As I said before, pars imparent, non habet imperium. An equal cannot be under an equal. Point of law.
Okay, let's look at what level of impact will autonomy bring to governance at the grassroots level, Comrade Young? That is not there before. Yes.
A lot. There are a lot of things that autonomy will bring to the grassroots. Thank God the Honorable legal father here said something. And I quite agree with my comrade here that what we have now is like you are calling in the tier 3 system of government here. You have the federal, state, and local government.
In the constitution?
No, they are dragging the local government in the name of tier with a rope on the neck. And my father here laughed at it. That is not democracy. That is not democracy. Because you did right, you quoted right that a freed government or a free body, a legal entity cannot live in a legal entity. Then are you now saying local government is illegal now?
I didn't say that.
Then if it is not...
I didn't say illegal.
Okay.
No one is illegal.
Okay.
I'm saying that an autonomous body cannot be inside an autonomous body.
How is the state existing with federal?
They are complementary. And
that is what we are saying.
And there's a difference between exclusive, complementary,
that's
and it is graduated.
That's in theory.
Not in equal, pari passu.
That's in theory. In practice is what we are saying now. You are from a local government council.
Very well.
I want to put a question now. From the year 2000 to today, if you compute what has come to your local government council, now you tell us now, is it commensurate with what your local government have gotten?
Well, he may not know because he wasn't
Yes,
a local
no,
government.
but at least, no.
He
but
doesn't
I-
have the
no,
statistics.
I'm not
Okay,
asking
it's a rhetorical
Yes,
question.
no,
Yes,
I'm
he's not expecting an
asking
answer.
him- I'm
Yeah.
not asking him to give account.
Okay.
I am saying you are in that local government. From figures you hear, let me give you one good example.
Hearsay is not
No,
an
let me
No,
give
by
you-
start
let
up,
me
so we
give
just
you-
hold on.
Let me
Hold on.
give you the figures now. In a goal, the last allocation they got is 133 million.
Okay.
About 133 million. Do you know what was left after payment of this and that? 20 million. It cannot even pay salary. It's not even taking a trip of sand to do earth road in a local government council. And you want that business to continue? We are saying here that autonomy is good for local government. One, if you look at our rural urban drift of the youth we are talking about, if autonomy is not given to councils, expect a high flight of it. Because now all they know is the state, not their local government councils. What will keep a youth idle, doing nothing in their local government council? And somebody is saying the local government should be tied to the apron of the State House of Assembly. The House of Assembly have the right to do the needful today. Either you listen to the people or you do otherwise. But the thing is that one funny issue is that you can go on vacation abroad, you are still coming back home. We all live to see the result of the voting that they are going to do today. And so we are joining them. No girl is not fighting for salary. We are not fighting for our own interest. We are only an organized body set up to organize the people, draw attention to the needful in our society today. We believe we are practicing democracy. But we are saying without local government autonomy, there is no true democracy as far as Nigeria is concerned. Because in a situation where you have a chairman of a local government council, we're going to be running an election very soon, and people are going to contest. But I want to tell you, any local government council chairman do not have the power to appropriate as far as his council is concerned. There is a string there. There are certain amount you can appropriate on your own as a local government chairman, but it's not supposed to be so. The councillors are subject to the House of Assembly. Our State House of Assembly are not subject to the National Assembly. And you call that a democracy? In a situation where earth rolls, if you go to our rural areas, go and visit them. Some are not motorable, whether in dry season or in rainy season. That is what autonomy can bring, because you will hold your leaders accountable. For now, who do you hold accountable? Is it the chairmen that were there before? You can throw the figures at them and say, so and so billion. They will tell you, well, I don't know. If the states do not touch the local government autonomy, what is their headache of taking Panadol for somebody else's headache? If you believe you don't touch the local government fund, allow them go. But if you believe there is something inside, you are now the monitor. Because the funny aspect of it is that if you go to the National Assembly, most of the senators were past governors. Do you know all of them voted in support of local government autonomy? But while they were governors, they fought against it. Do you know most of the state houses of assembly, most of them were chairmen. Those chairmen you see them contest, most of them, they are members of the local government council executive. But they are there now. Tomorrow, when they are now out of the state house of assembly, they'll say, oh, how I wish we knew. You know, local government need autonomy. But the ball is in their court today. We are not threatening, but what we are saying is that do the wish of the people,
okay,
and grant autonomy to local government council.
All right, you wanted to add something to that?
If we say, like our father here, the senior lawyer said that an equal cannot coexist with an equal. He said it in their
Latin.
But he didn't also tell us how the state is surviving as an equal with the federal government. Now, he will tell us that it's a constitutional matter. Yes, now I have agreed that it's a constitutional matter. Constitution has limited the local government such that they cannot be independent. So please, let us not call it 3 tiers of government. Yes, it's a very clear thing. If I now know that the constitution has limited the grassroots not to be free, it then means that there are no 3 tiers of government. Like the comrade was saying, If 10 naira was given to my local government chairman, and he comes to Benin, he's quietly given 5 naira, and he comes back to do what 5 naira can do, and we go to tell him, Oga, we just say you suppose do 10 naira something, we say that 5 naira they give us. We do not have the powers to go and meet those at the state level to ask the questions. And if you ask him, should I go? I say, don't go ask him. If you ask him in the public, that same local government boy, you say they gave us 10 naira. Well, these are facts. In some states, these are facts. So it is a bane on local government administration. Go and ask any local government chairman. It's a bane and it's a bone on their neck. But because they are principal, so to say in quote, we take them to Golgotha for crucifixion. They will not say it out. So if we say that the local government should not have autonomy, but the state has, and it's independent of the federal, it's a game of animal play where our animals are equal. Some are more equal than others.
Okay.
Yes, where we are.
Of course, we are in the studio now.
Yeah,
So
so
we're in the studio.
There is misrepresentation and prejudicial approach to things. We are saying that for the word autonomy to be used and applicable, if you are in love with it, it is predicated on the amendment of the Constitution. As at now, the Constitution has not been amended. There are 3 tiers of government. Section 7, sub 1, 2, 3 even states clearly that anything to be done by the local government will be at the instance of the state government that must provide the enabling authority and paraphernalia. Until it is amended, it will become speculative and parochial to think otherwise.
Okay, but let me just key you into this. As a lawyer and also a politician, this debate about local government autonomy or independence, as it were, has been ongoing. I believe you have also been following the discussions, the debates on local. Do you think there is genuine need for local government to be financially independent, as some have advocated? And just now, you said the law has not been amended. We're in the process of that being done. Yes. So do you think this amendment is necessary?
Now, they will cross the bridge when you get there.
I'm asking you a personal question. I'm asking you a question. Do you think this amendment is necessary? This amendment.
It is.
Okay.
And if it is amended, it will not be totality. It will not be autonomous. When you say autonomy, it will be full independence.
So what is the level of independence that you expect? That you're advocating.
They are soliciting and advocating for the remission of money from federal level to the local government to come to them directly, as it were, not through an intermediary. That is okay, but that the local government will now be an autonomous body in pari passu with the state, that is unrealistic and it's unconstitutional.
Okay, so against that background, you are saying that you expect the State House of Assembly to vote in support of the independence of local government.
Independence. To a reasonable extent to vote for independence, but not for the autonomy.
Okay, so if
the phraseology that is vexatious.
Okay. Anyway, it's the TMI Monday with yours sincerely, and of course we're just following up on the discussions on local government autonomy. We know that the State Houses of Assembly have a role to play. The proposal by the National Assembly has already been transmitted to the State Houses of Assembly. Why the State House of Assembly, using the State House of Assembly, need to vote in support of local government autonomy has been the discussion that we've been on in the last couple of minutes. Let's just do a final wrap-up of this. The elections are respected maybe the first quarter of next year. And that's because we also saw earlier last week, or later last week, in the later part of last week, that there's an amendment to the electoral law which reduced the duration for election conduct from 90 days to 45 days. This has also been attracting some reactions and what have you. Fidelis, let me start with you on that. Yes, what does this portend for the conduct of local government election in Edo State?
Yeah, before I came here, I had a divergent view about that. 19 to 45 days. in one aspect, for those, I don't want to contest the election. For those who want to contest the election, they already knew they were going to contest the election. At this time last year, there were posters in my local government, social media, everybody is galvanizing. So if you look at it at that context, reducing from 90 to 45 days, we have nothing to do. But if you look at the legal aspect of it, as it has to do with internal democracy, if I feel I am short-charged during my party primaries,
Short-changed,
yeah,
sorry, yeah,
and I needed to seek redress, I feel that 45 days will not be enough. Because the parties will need to do their internal democracy, which is primaries. They might have congresses. Within this period, I think it is going to cause a little issue, which will now again dovetail to post-elections issue, where one man may have taken 2 years' salaries before the court will now say you were not duly elected or nominated by your political party. Go and bring the money. And the man will have no money to bring. So this is where we will still go back to.
All right, really, thank you. Thank you, Conway. Let me get a final word on that.
As an individual, I don't want to speak on that as a union because that is outrightly politics.
Yes.
But as an individual, I wish the contestants well, but I want to say you have a lot to do in the local government council when you are coming in. The grass is always greener on the other side, and a bed of roses, there are thorns inside. When you come to the local government, you will see a lot, and you will well understand what we talked about when we say local government autonomy. Okay. Then you will now discover that you have to take permission from the commissioner of local government in every state to do what your people have asked you to do. So I wish them the best.
All right, Ambassador Zaliu, yeah.
Yes, now the interregnum between campaigning and election has always been contemptuous and controversial. Once upon a time, June 12, 1993, Abiola won election because there was a 3-month interregnum before he would be sworn in. You know what happened. Soldiers came in and truncated it, and the man died. So the amendment of the electoral law from 90 days to 45 days is very good. We're always talking here that justice delayed is justice denied. They don't want a long time. As my earlier contributor said, people want to contest election. They have since started. So 45 days is quite okay. SEC will announce, they will campaign, they will do the election, and in the first quarter of 2018, in February, there will be elections. So there's nothing wrong. It is finesse, and it is amendment for the good, pro bono, for the good of the people.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for your time with us on the program TMI Monday as we look at local government issues on the program. Well, expectations are high that the State House of Assembly, specifically Edo State House of Assembly, will critically look into the issue, the agitations for local government autonomy, and do the needful. Like someone said a while ago, by the time the tenures of those there now, the tenure is over, they will come back to their local government. They will come back to their constituents. And as a matter of fact, maybe some still have the intention of contesting in 2019. They certainly will come back to their constituent. And then, of course, some of these issues will be the basis for interactions. I know of one man in the State House of Assembly, Honorable MD Igbas. He called into our show some time ago to say, anytime that the House is going to take a vote on local government autonomy, we can count on him that he will vote in support of local government autonomy. So that's one vote that should excite comrade. But I don't know how many others are in the same frame of mind for that. But I'm sure while the voting is being done, the media, the civil society, other pressure groups will be following up to know who did what, who voted in favor of autonomy, who voted against it. That's it on this segment of the show. TMI will take a short break. We'll be back to look at another very interesting issue. In recent time, there's been an exodus of doctors abroad. Just like what happened sometime around 1980, 1983, All right, and the Nigerian Medical Association has been shouting at rooftop, but nobody seems to be listening. But we are listening, and we'll be talking about it on the show today. Join me again after this time out.